Give me the boy, I'm styling. Games down 3, I'm wildin'. Now I got you on this island. Ain't no surviving. Like Clyde, in different subjects, your girl DMs are sliding.
That's hard.
Everybody screaming, wanna be him. They looking down cause they really need him. They screaming, league him, league him, league him, league him, league him, league him, league him. Now I got you on this island. Ain't no surviving. Like Clyde, I glide in different subjects, your girl DMs are sliding. Hey.
That's hard. You know what's crazy? That's not even a rapper. That's an IG personality person. B.A.5. I think that's what his IG handle still is. He's like the basketball guy that used to do all the impressions. That's him rapping. That's just hard. I listen to this song every day. I love this shit. I've even tweeted at him being like, yo, this shit is hard. You deserve roses for this. The song is called League Him. He's a basketball player. So a lot of the references, if you don't hoop, you probably not going to get it. But this shit is hard. Welcome to the show. We not finna be here all night. I got to study. Because I ain't going to lie to you. The days were already mad long. But now they real long. It's 100% worth it, but at the same time, I'd be like, I want to get this shit done, man. You know what I'm saying? Just be done with it. Because I'm trying to ensure that I can still have time to vacation and travel during the summer. Yeah. I'm on that this year, so let me pull it. There you go. I'm about to rearrange this setup too. Mainly because I'm about to just use this comfy chair, but it'll be set up to where another person can come in here and do a show. Because I've had a couple people that reach out that say they want to come argue some shit with me on here. They probably want to just punk me and make me look foolish. And I like that. I hope that's what they're trying to do. I always make it clear that on this show, we not over here pretending that we know everything about everything. I do a lot of reading. I do like to make sure that I'm somewhat informed, but at the same time, this is a reactionary type of show. Like I'm reacting to things that are happening. So then I'm giving you my thoughts in whatever moment it is. Last night was crazy. I'm watching, after I do this, we do the show, I turn this shit off and I go to start studying, I eat dinner, all these things, and I'm watching the Colorado game. At this point, I still have no idea. Because even though I'm on the internet all day, I wasn't on it enough yesterday to actually be paying attention between the hours of like 2 to 7. I had no idea what had happened. Pacific Standard Time. And during the Colorado game, they stopped and Buddy's like, we got to have a brief moment of silence because there's been a shooting. And I'm like, wait. And at first I'm thinking, wait, at the NCAA tournament, there's a shooting? And I'm like bugging out because I'm like, this nigga's still on the court playing this shit? Oh my God, they don't care. They're trying to get these games done. That's not it. We have some person who just decided that in Colorado, in Boulder, that he wanted to go inside of a grocery store and express himself. At this point, he chose to kill. He opted to kill. But like, what is his motivation? What is the point? What's going on with you? And then some of the reports that I'm reading, they're talking about this dude has all these, of course, they saved him. They didn't take him out at the grocery store. They brought in all these different types of law enforcement agencies. They had a little standoff. Buddy walked out. I think he's wounded, but he walked out cuffed. That's convenient, right? That's crazy. Elise, what's happening? Elise is in the chat. Shout out to Elise. Elise is out there. She out there in Colorado. This shit is crazy. But Buddy went in there. He killed 10 people. There's other people in there who, even survivors, who now for the rest of their lives have to carry the weight of this, the trauma, the nightmares. Then some of these news articles talking about this dude has like, oh, he's mentally ill and there's some things and da 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 da. They're going all the way back to like his school days, talking about how he got in fights with people and this and that and da da da. And I'm thinking, that's interesting that they always want to talk about, oh, he had all these things. And I don't, is it an effort to embarrass this person or make you feel some sort of sympathy towards him? Because I feel like niggas be getting killed for less. And then they'd be like, oh, well, you know, George had it coming because he was trying, it looked like he was trying to use fake money. This person just killed 10 people. Our people don't be having this shit coming. And then they try to bring up the fact that he has all these things that make him look like a criminal. Why would you do Mr. George Floyd like that? And then you print these things about this other person and try to be like, oh, but did you see? He just has so many problems. And what he really needed was a hug. He just needs somebody to care for him. And then maybe this wouldn't have happened. No, fuck that. Shit is trash, bro. Here's where it get funny for me today. And there are people who are catching backlash based on the fact that we all jumped. We're all posting things saying, oh, look, another white man. I saw the picture. I don't know, man, like from a distance, maybe he was, I don't know. People are upset because we jumped to a conclusion and thought that it was a white guy. Because low key, this type of shit is kind of reserved for them. I know that everybody can and could potentially do it, but y'all know, listen, if you look at our just look at the last decade and you look at mass shooters, who are they? You know who they are. Don't get offended by the fact that I say that shit. You already know what it is. People are upset that today, for the first time, so if there's been 100-something shootings, I'm willing to bet that it's basically been a white guy 101 times out of 102. Today marks 102, or yesterday, and once it's not a white guy. I don't know. Maybe those statistics are wrong. I don't have that in front of me. Maybe we were wrong. This dude he's something else. And now people are like, oh my God, how dare you? You guys just assumed that it was a white guy. That's why we're divided. I'm like, no, man, because no, don't turn it into that. Don't try to make it about y'all and your fucking feelings because we thought it was a white guy. Don't fucking do that. Because this is an issue of a person who decided that it was up to him to just show up to a public area and start letting off rounds on people. Pause. Pause. I'm somebody that believes that, look, freedom of speech, I get it. Right to bear arms, I get it. But when you think of some of the things that are harder to obtain than an automatic weapon, it does make you think like, yo, what the fuck going on? And why is no one doing anything about it? And I'm asking that as a person who has little to no knowledge on what the status currently is on any gun control related issue, because I mind my own fucking business. I carried a gun for a lot of years back in the day, for safety and for protection. And then when I moved out to Washington, I gave that up because I was coming to a place where I was told I would not need to have to do that. I wasn't even really in a place where I needed to do that. But listen, there was not a lot of black people in the places that I live. So I've said it on this show before. This is not anything new that I'm reporting. I've been saying this for years. I have made peace a long time ago with the fact that if I lived in the South for the rest of my life, I was either going to be killed by a cop, killed by a racist white person or killed by stress and maybe organs hardening from excessive amounts of barbecue. But I've been prepared to die behind the respect and all that type of stuff because listen, I'm not with all that fight. Y'all abused me for too long. It's not happening no more. It has not been happening for a significant amount of time. But again, now I live in Washington. I do not live in a place where I have to pretend that I need to be on guard at all times. It's not like that out here, especially the places that I frequent. Most of these people, they look at me and they think that I'm a Seattle Seahawk. And it's been like that since day one. They're just like, oh my God, tall bearded black man, he must play sports. And I clearly look like I work at the Krispy Kreme. So don't get it twisted. We're not in a place where we have to do all that. So I don't pay attention to that stuff. Have I been saying that for the last couple years? I think it might be time for me to go get a permit to carry legally. Yes, because as I have lived here and the time has passed, I have seen examples of where things can get out of hand because sometimes people out here don't be acting right. It happens. But there's nothing within me that makes me feel like the weapon that I need to have to protect myself needs to be something that I can get off 50, 60, 70 rounds in a couple of seconds. You know, like I'm not on no type of stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So the place that I'm coming from when I comment is a place of, again, little to no knowledge. So I want people to kind of give me the perspective on why this shit is so cool in real life. When we all know that it's hella dangerous, why do we make it so easy for these weapons to be obtained by niggas that have been documented as having issues with mental health, with previous issues of violence, all type of stuff like that? You mean to tell me it's harder to get a stimulus check than to get an automatic weapon? Like, that's crazy. So what are the next steps? Because people are tired of, sending prayers and, sending condolences to people's family. People are tired of it. They've been tired of that. Nobody want to turn on the news or be in the middle of trying to watch a basketball game and have to hear, we take a pause real quick. Sorry, we had to stop the game to let y'all know there's just been a mass shooting. And then you're expecting people to continue what they're doing like it's no big deal. You know what's crazy when you hear and you see people talking about, America's sliding back to normal. And they're basing that off the fact that we're starting to have more racial encounters flare up again. And then there's mass shootings. This feels like fucking last year. This can't be what this is every fucking year. It cannot be that. I know that people are working hard, have been working hard for a very long time to come up with solutions, but this is really one of those things. And I need y'all to understand this. Even if you are against the idea of gun control, you have to recognize they're trying to prevent people from having the opportunity to run up on your shit and wipe out your entire squad like it's Call of Duty. I know some of you people, you are in situations where that type of shit don't impact you. But listen, you need to be on board with sitting down with people and having logical fucking conversations about how to get this type of shit in control. You have to. There is no, we're not doing this, we're not doing that. No, that type of shit is corny. And it need to happen with a lot of these things. All of these horrible things that continue to happen. These things need to be fixed. I don't understand why some of y'all are just dragging your feet. Come on. Do right by your people. Y'all walk around all day saying it's the best country and this and that and da-da-da-da-da. And look how this shit be acting. I turned on the Miami Heat game just a few minutes ago. And on League Pass, because I got that this year. You know how I knew I was up? I could let League Pass take the money without even worrying about it. Anyway, it's not that expensive. It's like $40. So it's not a lot of money. But for me, I feel like I'm balling. If you know me, I have a heart. Anyway, I'm watching the game, and even on League Pass, they show you where Shorty's singing the national anthem. And there's a part of me, like after it's done, people are clapping and they're cheering and they're going crazy. And you're thinking, oh my God, they love America so much. But yet they not on these people's asses to get some of this stuff fixed. And they're okay with repeatedly seeing on the news and on the internet where people are losing their lives behind senseless violence. And then you know what's crazy? Buddy did that shit, right? Automatic weapon, and they walked him out of there. Like a few blocks from that area is where the cops killed Elijah McClain. No weapon, no nothing, pleading to have his life be saved. What are y'all doing about these janky ass police? What are y'all doing about these fucking getting these weapons off the street, man? What are we all doing? We're just gonna be in this circle forever, complaining, talking about how horrible this shit is. It's just gonna be in front of our faces forever, while other people that this type of shit don't be happening to sit around and laugh. But look at them. Here they go again, going through this crazy shit. Oh, should we help them? Oh, no, because it doesn't affect us. Why would we help them? And them is everybody, y'all. Because there probably are people that can put a stop to this. But they be making you feel like you're going to be waiting until somebody show up like fucking Bruce Wayne or Clark Kent, sorry ass. The day that this type of stuff get fixed will be the day we have superheroes pop up. Where's the nigga that fights crime around Seattle? Does he still exist? I know Seattle had a superhero before I came out here. I seen Buddy on the internet running hands with people in front of the police because out here you can do that type of shit. Isn't that crazy? I love that. Not that I'm too old to be running it with people, but just knowing that if somebody want to do it, I'll be like, well, hold on. Let's go ask the nice officer. Is it cool if we run it right here? And they'll say, yeah. Mutual combat state, and then we can run it, and then we can shake hands, and then we can walk away from it. Niggas not about that because it's not the 90s no more. Y'all wasn't outside when that type of shit was popular, where y'all, fisticuffs, and then just be like, look, it's respect, dap up, and you walk away. People don't want to do that. They want to just run to the guns for some reason. I don't understand. What is wrong with these people? And listen, there are so many services, mental health services. If y'all really feeling like you're off the rocker, just go seek some help. And I also want to say something that probably isn't going to be very popular. Some of y'all know these people before they go off the deep end. And when they're wilding out, going crazy, it puts you in a bad space. It pisses you off. And then you decide to cut them from your life. I'm not saying that this is your fault. I'm saying that you understand if you see the signs within some of your people, even if you were planning to walk away, maybe the last thing you should do is notify somebody that this could potentially be a problem. And that's a slippery slope. I know that sounds crazy. But again, some of y'all know these people. If you have people in your adult life who are still on the regular, I'm talking about like on the weekends, beating people up, getting into bullshit like that, talking about wanting to inflict pain and malice upon other people and getting into all this type of shit, where if you are hearing that in your adult life, something is going on and you need to notify somebody because this shit could get crazy. We are not kids anymore in most situations. These things are no longer to be taken lightly, because how in the F is the news telling us about all his history, but yet he still was somehow to obtain all these weapons and da-da-da-da-da. And I know you're going to be like, oh, it's the law and da-da-da, all these things. It's the law. And then like, we can't do this and we got to let them do that. Yeah, no, I get it. But if they got a history of violence, how are you still making weapons accessible to them so they can continue their history of violence? Steph is in the chat. What's happening, Steph? Steph said, got to support your friends, whether they're going to be mad at you or not. Help them help themselves. Yeah. You know what's crazy? And I didn't know this until recently. I'm not trying to call Shorty out, but because it's not a bad thing. And I appreciate it because I didn't know for a long time. There was one night where I was really having a bad night. Nothing was going to happen, but other people don't know that. I know that, but they don't know that. And my mom called me. I'm thinking, what are the chances? You're thinking, oh my God, did the stars just align? No, nigga. One of my friends, Steph, called my mother to be like, yo, fam, check on your boy. He's wilding. We wasn't on the greatest of terms at that time, and I didn't find out about this until months later. But if you see something, you should say something. It's not going to hurt. And nobody should be offended or mad at you if you extend your efforts to help them in a time of need. Even if they don't want or need the help, if people are like in a state where you're like, yo, this seems very unusual, even for this person that I know, do something about it. And then y'all can hash that shit out later. Because who's really, if you can break it down to somebody where you can show them that you probably helped save their life, who's really going to hold a grudge behind some shit like that? And even if they do, and that friendship or relationship of whatever kind is ruined, you can walk away knowing you did everything you could to prevent tragedy, and you helped them. That shit is important. Because like I said, some of y'all be knowing these people before they go out and do this shit. And you be like, no, it's okay. That's just Dylan. He's frustrated. And then he goes to a church and kills 9 people for no fucking reason. But they saw that shit before it happened. You see it. And y'all be knowing, but you're embarrassed. You don't want to admit that it's your kid, that it's your dad, that it's your mom, that it's your uncle. Y'all don't want to be admitting that shit to yourselves, because then you have to think, oh my God, is my family fucked up? I don't want anyone to think that my family's dysfunctional. I think the real issue is that we need to look within, and we need, as a country, everybody take inventory of your own home before you do it to others. Because again, some of y'all be around these people for mad long. You watch them assault. You watch them do these horrible things. You watch them go out and buy all the ammo, more ammo than a human should need for any type of activity. You watch them do all these things, and then you do this. If you didn't know, that was turning the other cheek. Did I do it right? I don't know. Anyway, I'm in here going off the rocker. I couldn't say the word tragedy because I'm so passionate, and this shit is frustrating. Steph said, I've had to do that before. I'd rather us be mad at me for a while than attend a funeral. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And listen, Steph told me that months later that she did that for me. A really good thing, because as soon as my mom called, I was like, hey, my mom's calling. That puts me in a good space. Steph might have saved a life. I don't know. I wasn't around anybody. Nothing was crazy was going to happen. But I've literally told a story on this show about me from like 12 or 13 years ago, where I literally was riding around because Buddy was being mad disrespectful on some racial type of stuff, calling me boy and shit, and then disrespecting me, put his hands on me, and then he wanted to tough talk me before we got in his car and drove away. So I just went and I politely parked out front of his crib, strap on the seat, talking about let's get it. And pause, talking about this type of play. I was going to end him. That was 100% my plan for the disrespect that I have felt. Again, this was a racial incident that turned around with him putting his hands on me and him and I getting into this altercation. But I took it to the next level. I drove to his home and I was waiting there ready to end his life over something that really does not and did not matter. It would not have mattered. The smartest thing I ever did in that moment was call my mom. And only one person knew that I had went down there, which was my homeboy Keith, because he was a witness to the entire encounter between me and this other person. That would have been a crazy night. I would never be here to even explain that story to anybody, because I could have just been locked up the rest of my life. After that situation, I need a gun for it. I don't need to carry this shit around. I know people be like, oh, I got to protect myself. But like, from what? I know where some of y'all be staying. I understand. I know some of your environments are very unfavorable. So I get it. Certain circumstances, I completely understand. And that's why it's one of those things where you go back and forth on. I go back and forth on it. Because you don't want to tell people that they can't protect themselves, because I understand what it's like for some of y'all. But then you have people who because they can afford these things and they're not interested in sports or going bowling or the movies or no shit like that, their interest is all tied up in that stuff. Nothing wrong with that. That's cool. Go to the range, blow off steam, do whatever it is you got to do. But then they actually be out here looking for a reason to use these things on people because their brains get fried. They really start thinking they're in some of these video games. Job not working out, stress start adding up, too many bills to pay, and you start to blow your top. And what's the one thing you start doing? Drink. Maybe you drinking too much, smoking too much. You're already struggling. You probably on pain pills and all this type of shit too. And I know you're probably thinking, oh my God, he's doing all these little stereotypical things and saying all this stuff. It could be a multitude of reasons. You don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I'm naming all the things that I have heard and seen on TV. These are all the reasons that they provide to us when these situations happen. So what are we doing to help some of these people who go through all of these things so that way we can prevent them from causing a major tragedy? Steph said, I've been there as well. My temper is 0 to 100. That's facts. I add them thing, but I've done a lot of work within to try and find other ways to release my anger. And that is also facts. Yes, man. And that's the important thing, is because now we're at a point where they see this thing. This is a computer. You got one in your pocket, one at your home, your job, all these things. You have access to it. We have public libraries. We have all of these ways that you can access resources to help yourself get to a better place as an adult. You don't have to be in these spaces. No one is telling y'all to stay angry, to stay mad, to stay frustrated, to bottle all of your thoughts and feelings so much that when you blow your top, it results in you using an automatic weapon on people that you don't even know at the grocery store. Nobody is making y'all do that shit. There ain't no God telling you to do that. There ain't no nothing, bro. You got to get yourself checked if you were on some type of shit where you want to go out and harm people like that. Because why? And that's the question I'm tired of asking, is why? Why does this keep happening? There ain't no need for it. That shit last week, there's no need for that. And then to all the people that want to be like, why is it every time something happens, you guys make it about race? Because it's about race most times, if not all times, but it's also about the fact that people are dying for no reason. And when you make that stupid ass comment or any comment that's like it, you are dismissing the situation at hand. It's horrible. I hate knowing that there are people who are on my pages that I personally know who, as soon as they see these things, that they're not completely outraged, that they're not stressed, they're not frustrated. This has to make y'all sad. How does this not make y'all sad? And then you know what's crazy? We've all been through history classes. We all have access to the internet. We've all watched documentaries. We've all seen clips. We've all heard the other side's story. Do you mean to tell me that only some of us are actually doing the background research on some of this? I mean, come on. There's history that shows where all this bullshit keeps happening. So when do we put a stop to it? Shit is crazy. All right, let's get into something funny. It's not funny because it's people's lives. We shouldn't be laughing. But I want to say this, and I know I'm clapping my hands like a sister right now, but let me channel my inner sister. Y'all, for years, and I'm saying y'all as in the ladies, y'all were all saying, why can't y'all be more like Derrick Jackson? I know none of y'all talk like that, but y'all swore on everything that Derrick Jackson was the most courageous, the most well-evolved man. Did I even say that right? No, because I'm not that evolved. But y'all swore on everything that Derrick was the answer to all of your prayers. And then Derrick went out and has been going out and has been going and stepping out on his wife. We all tried to tell y'all Derrick wasn't shit. Listen, as a man, if you cannot admit that you're not shit, you really ain't shit. All right? Because the proof is in the pudding. It is what it is. We all tried to tell y'all because, listen, you can just see it on his face. You can see it on his face. Now, the memes, they're going crazy. There's a part of it that is funny, but there's a part of it that's not. So if you're not understanding what I'm talking about, let's go through it. Derrick Jackson is this guy who sits in his car and he gives relationship advice, and he basically talks about how garbage we all are. Now, you're probably thinking, oh my God, on the last 10 shows you've done, you just talked about how garbage men are. Yeah, and I've actually included myself in that. I've not tried to pretend that I am above the people that I speak on, because I'm not shit either. It is what it is. Everybody who personally knows me knows that I'm an open book. You ask me a question, I don't be holding back, I don't be lying. What's the point? Ain't no point in that. We're all garbage. But Derrick kind of gives off the vibe that he is not that, and that he's trying to provide free game to the ladies so they know how to avoid that. Derrick has been called out for some of his transgressions, and then what did he do? He went to make one of his videos. In the video, he tries to tell us that this never happened, because why? He's Derrick Jackson, y'all. He would not do this, right? His whole persona is that he is not this guy. But then I think the waters got a little bit too deep. Cuddy then comes back the next day and makes a new video. This time, RIP, no disrespect at all, but do y'all remember when Kobe went through that unfortunate thing with Vanessa, and then they sat at the press conference, and that was like a whole thing? Y'all remember that? And I was thinking Derrick was going to pull out a $4 million ring or something crazy like that. He didn't do that. He didn't hold his shorty's hand, admit to his wrongdoing, talk about how he's going to change as a man, and then also present her with a great gift and change behavior. Because it's clear that Kobe did that. Because change behavior, that's the important thing. Mistakes happen. Bullshit happens. You make stupid choices. You choose to do that. You do bullshit. Bullshit things happen to you. Karma will come back for Derrick. But he also has the opportunity to get his shit together if he actively chooses to do so. You got to choose that shit, bro. But again, Derrick didn't get his wife a ring. The internet's going crazy because she is in her bonnet. It's funny. She looked, some of the memes, oh my God. I'm trying not to laugh because this is Shorty's life ruined. That's the part that made me feel bad about it. Seeing her face while he's squeezing her hand, and he's holding her hand. She's not holding his hand. If you look at it, you can clearly see her grip is very loose because the nigga's on a live video talking about how he creeped on her. And she's having to sit there and be in the video with him because he needs his fans to see that his wife is supporting him. Derrick, I think you should have just made the video and been like, bro, I fucked this up. And I misled y'all because I led y'all to believe that I thought that I was a better man than most men. And I am not. I am the same as them. All humans have shitty tendencies. We have shitty habits. We do shitty things. We make shitty choices. I know some really great people who have done some pretty devastating things, and maybe they don't realize it. And not everything is something crazy. It's not everything is physical. Some of this stuff is just emotional. The way in which you kind of step on people when you try to make a move in a different direction from them. The way you don't communicate with people whenever you're going through something and then you decide that you maybe, need to go a different route. You can hurt people in all types of ways. But Derrick, you can see it on her face. She is hurt. Ladies, I wonder what y'all think about Derrick now. Now, I'm sure there's a lot of y'all that are going to still be like, oh, it don't matter because he fine, girl. I'm still going to let him do it. And that's fine because it be like that. I know for a fact there are girls who told me I wasn't shit because they heard about some bullshit that I did and they still wanted to fuck with me. Again, it happens and people make their choices. So I'm sure people will still choose Derrick. Derrick won't be canceled. He just actually showed that he's not on that superhero shit like y'all thought he was. So don't ever disrespect me again by telling me I need to be more like Derrick Jackson. There's a few people I know who have actually told me that. And you know how I found out about him was by a girl telling me that I should be more like him. And I'm like, you want me to just sit in a hot ass car and record videos? Which I end up doing that anyway. But I'll be on my Snap singing and shit like that. He not doing nothing but providing advice that he's not planning to use. But I was doing that for mad long too when I was telling y'all you should all try to look into the therapy services. And I was like, nah, I'm not gonna do that. But I have been doing it, and that shit is lit. And it's been helping. And this leads us to our mental health check-in. I hope y'all are doing all right, man. Listen, it's already been a long week, but it's been a good week. Washington, y'all get ready. The weather's finna start being nice. And so hopefully a lot of the blues that we all had will start to fade away, but I hope that we don't continue to have bullshit happen like last week, like this week. We want people to be able to enjoy the spring and going into the summer and going into the holidays. Listen, we all deserve that. Y'all stop fucking it up, okay? Stop it. Last year was ass. Leave all that shit last year. Don't bring that over here. We don't want none of that. We're trying to have a good time for a long time. But some of y'all be wanting to prevent that shit, man. We don't have time for that, all right? Listen, because it's Women's History Month, I'm watching this documentary on Michelle Obama. And listen, I'm not a Michelle Obama hater. Nor was I. I will just admit that I did not follow her as closely as everybody else did. But oh my God, she's amazing. Y'all know a lot about Michelle Obama? Oh my God. Barack, you lucky, bro. You lucky, bro. I don't know how niggas be ending up with gold like that. And I love that when she was in high school, she was talking to her guidance counselor, and the guidance counselor was giving her feedback, and she was wanting to go to Princeton. And this motherfucker had the nerve to be like, I don't think this is gonna work for you. And I like that she just was like, oh, bet, say less. And then went to the assistant principal or whatever, got her a letter of recommendation, then she went on to do the damn thing. That, to me, when I heard that part, that was the most impressive thing to me, because I'm showing this documentary to a student, and I want my student to start to understand and comprehend that she is capable of great things. So I love discovering new information about these wonderful people. So I just wanted to share that. Yo, if you don't know a lot about Michelle Obama, you should go check that out. Crazy how dope some of these women are. And I know Miss Michelle probably gets plenty of props and credit. I heard all the hype for years. I was doing some other stuff, so I wasn't paying attention to that. But again, amazing what you discover. So, hey, learning is great. Knowledge is infinite. And y'all need to soak it up. What's today? Tuesday? I'll be back tomorrow. The show's over. Listen, take care of yourselves, okay? If some of this stuff that's happening stresses you out, it's okay to stop whatever you're doing. Take some deep breaths. Go read. Go do some shopping. Go do something. Go do something that's going to put you in a good space. This shit is scary out here, okay? Niggas are on that bullshit. We all know that. But I don't want you to give up on your life because there's a few people messing it up for everybody. Continue to hold out hope that there are good people out here and that good days are upon us, all right? This not finna be like last year. We can prevent that shit. Everybody got to do their part, though, man. I'll see y'all tomorrow. It's Lunchtime TV. Deuces.